which make the late game of Lulu a little bit weaker, but she still has all of the early game where she would dominate, especially when she gets that Athene. She can still put one help picks on someone, get 2 Glitter Lances off with the blue buff, and have that obnoxious type of harassment. So Cloud9 being very decisive. We're almost done Champ Select. We've been in it for like a minute.
Almost. And it has been decided that Cruiser's going to be picking up Rise on this second play for him. Not having a win on the first one, he's going to try his hand again, but already sneaky on that Lucian. Like we said, his play was through the roof yesterday.
Golden Glue's helping us slow this one down as well.
Indeed.
Meteo's breaking out Lee Sin. Sees all the credit Dexter's been getting for it yesterday. Says, you know what? I did this too. His KDA on Lee Sin was absolutely absurd at the start of the year. He didn't die in his first 3 Lee Sin games.
With 15 or 16 assists.
Yeah.
So it was up there.
He had like a 40-plus KDA at one point.
Yep.
Dignitas with the Jinx. I like it.
She was actually banned out earlier today with a lot of the 2v1 shenanigans going on lately.
5-2 on Jinx for AmaCutiePie. Much better than his 2-7 score on old Lucian there. Lucian, of course, the pick for the other side. He has the added safety of having a Thresh. It's one of the nice things. Thresh provides mobility for otherwise immobile AD carries.
Crumbs is going to be locking in the Pantheon. It actually has not been played by him. So he will be locking that in for the first time. We always hear that Pantheons like to focus that bottom lane once they get their ult. More people to stamp on. We'll see if he stays with that trend.
I always feel like Crumbs is the type of jungler who can play anything, though.
Yeah.
Especially because he is a guy who transitioned from jungle to top lane, back to jungle. All in the LCS. Plus, he plays whatever he wants in solo queue and does well with it.
So like Balls is going to be laying down the red carpet for people as he locks in Rumble. Even his team has said that Rumble is hard to play at a professional level.
Yeah.
You lose CS, this and that, but he does it again.
Yeah, well, Balls has made a consistent case for him being the best top laner. A Lux for Golden Glue as well, so
oh wow,
whole bunch to talk about right here. It looks like Dignitas is trying for a little bit of long-range initiation just with the Lux. And then they did the Jinx pick because they don't necessarily trust Cloud9's dive potential. The Rumble will counteract that a little bit, being able to reach AmaCutiePie. I definitely see double ability power compositions coming out from both sides.
Yeah. This is going to be quite an awesome matchup. Absolutely. A lot can happen from a very long range in this game for both teams. So I'm super excited to see how these engagements go, how long they last, and who can come out on top. Because there's front-end burst, but there's also continuous DPS on these teams.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen Lux in the North American LCS. Golden Glue, he did have a much different champion pool, Scar said. He shares some of the same champions like Gragas, obviously, but in his Zed yesterday and a Lux today are just two completely different playstyles.
Yeah.
Zed is the all-in and out, but Lux is just really sitting far back, getting the shields down, long-range poke, and I wonder how well he's going to be able to flip the switch back and forth between those two things, because it's no easy task.
It's nothing he's shown in the challenger scene yet. Obviously has that under a solo queue belt. But as we check in with the good folks who frequent LOLesports.com, that's you, to see who you think will come out on top, the votes say 79% in favor of Cloud9.
Yeah, that seems like a Cloud9 type vote right there. Obviously, with their overpowering record right here for Cloud9, only having 4 losses on the year. You don't expect them to fall, but no one expected them to fall either when Dignitas took them down at the start of the year. Dignitas seems to strike when you least suspect them to. Yep,
they could do it again right here. They have a composition with Golden Glue. His LCS debut was a victory for the team. Can they bring it to 2 against one of the top teams in the league? Now, this will pretty much be one of the ultimate tests he could go through in his first week in the LCS.
Absolutely. High. Doesn't necessarily play, I don't want to say the in-meta champions the same way everyone else does. He always has a slightly tweaked champion pool to others. Wonder how many times you're going to hear that laugh this game.
Oh, please.
Oh boy, the level 1s. Pantheon and Lux. And Thresh. And Rise. Like, everything for Dignitas is crazy here. Let's get those fight chants out of here.
Nope. No chance. Mana Crystal for Cruiser in the top lane. See a little bit of early damage from him. Talking about Rise all the time. Spell Sage form Elimination. He's been loving that Morgana lately. A really big advocator of the Thresh and Leona. And then as soon as Morgana got that, or Spell Thief, I should say, got the change, Morgana a little more present.
Very good against the aggressive supports. I'm not playing very defensive here early on in the game.
Well, he knows what to do in the early part of the game. Golden Glue is definitely on point. He watches the LCS. Now plays in it.
Minions have spawned.
Dignitas is holding out on this one for the spawn. It's always good to wait until that 153, real late when the team's focused on blue. You get a little bit more of an upper hand as they're reacting to you coming in.
This would be a delayed invade. Obviously, Cloud9 has the one ward placed down early. Ball's going to see this. I wonder if Dignitas is going to flash to try anything. They could most likely at least trade flashes, but they opt to just go with the obvious blue buff steal take right there.
Elimination, he is maybe going to ward. Looks like he pulled back to lane, but they're going to go ahead, put that off. He gets a good ward down to see if they can go ahead and get Meteos down here to steal that off. Crumbs is well off in the top lane, and we do see that the
ball's got to get out of there real quick.
Will be apparent.
Yeah, they're going to stack as much as they can in this lane. That's a very deadly hook.
Whoa!
Oh, you know, for some reason, obviously Ryze normally takes Q at level 1, but if he would have taken Rune Prison at level 1 there, I think Dignitas could have gotten first blood. But instead he had his Q early on. Always wait until you're going to use the spell before skilling up a level 1.
So this is going to be interesting. Meteos sees that Crumbs is in the top lane, or Crumbs has left now the top lane.
They're most likely going to stack the pushes on each side. Now it will be a question of how well Balls can survive this. Cloud9 did a lot of this early on. Oh dear.
Oh! Nice. Barrier! No! Barrier and shield is not enough!
Not the start Golden Glue wanted right there. They gave the Lulu up. He picked Lux, but he didn't even have his shield spec'd right there because he was trying to outshove the lane.
So he did not.
He done Q&E because he was trying to shove in. That is going to hurt. Oh boy. Add that to the fact. So High has control of the mid lane. Add that to the fact that Balls, if you go all the way back to the summer of 2013 and combine this year, he would be 9-0 on Rumble. So that's 2 potentially dominating lanes for Cloud9 right off the bat. And Dignitas is not a team that necessarily plays well from behind.
That's going to be very tough. Usually you want to stay quite ahead of the game with a Lux, or you're just left on the outside firing lasers all day. 4 minutes in, Dignitas trying to make a move off of what just happened in mid, but we already got Cloud9 on that second tier turret.
This is a little interesting though, because Dignitas is opting to do a 4-man push as opposed to the 3-man push with somebody jungling for them. It gives them faster pushing potential, which is why Cloud9 is answering with 2. But even 2 against 4 might be somewhat turret diveable. There's no need for this push to stop right now, unless Dignitas goes back. And if they do that successfully, it's another advantage for Cloud9, trading 2 for 1.
I think they can get mid here. Lux still with a very minimal amount of pushing power in that lane, but they're going to force it to mid. If High gets back here, Glitterlance is going to be able to clear most of that as Cruiser teleports to stop that top lane damage.
Yeah, there is a Morgana about to run into a lot of people.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Just kind of held his breath there for a second. Golden Glue won't be able to hit the Lucent Singularity from the outside here. There's the flash from Crumbs, though. That's going to be in W range. No, not if Elimination flashes, too.
He tried to get the angle on him, but was unsuccessful. Dignitas grouping as 5 now. While I like the grouping from Dignitas, they seem to be just behind the game a little bit. They're potentially so low from this dragon. They might get harassed down 4v5. Nice hook!
High gets hit, the Rune Prison after. That's the fight they're looking for. If you're one person to get locked down, it's going to stick for 2 to 3 seconds on the consecutive crowd control. A good, relentless pursuit from Sneaky. Meteos missing the Q, but they're still able to get into the fight, and Cloud9 taking control.
Exactly right there. The early game dragon doesn't die quickly. You often get so low for it. I honestly have to question just overall the value of taking the dragon this early on in the game, because it offers a pretty small amount of gold early on in the game. It's 125 gold per person. And you lose so much in the lanes, even if you get it. That time Cloud9 collapsed down 1 of 4v5 because they were low. All the while, Balls was up in this lane. He is already a force to be reckoned with on Rumble, let alone when he's now against a laner with no flash, no teleport, and is also just sitting with that tier.
Love watching when we're in the top lane and how he keeps that heat mechanic always above the 50% mark, keeping his damage up, keeping everything he can up to get that extra bit in the steroid provided from his passive. Right now with the help of High, this is something we see a lot from High, and he actually has one of the lower farmers, believe it, in CS because he does so much rotating.
Right. If you analyze the CS at 10 minutes, High is the bottom of the table as far as starting North American LCS mid laners. But that is because of the way he rotates early on in the game. This patch change with the game being more about early turrets and reception control is actually right into Cloud9's favor. They always have displayed very strong team play early on in the games, and you're seeing why here. They are dismantling Dignitas in rotations right now.
It's only going to take them just about 7 minutes to take down the second outer turret. The third one stands in mid, but they do have 3 down because of that big force push down in the bottom lane. Dropping this one, the teamwork will now probably move down towards mid, and we should see a dragon quite soon after.
Yeah, the control right now from Cloud9 is something Dignitas is trying desperately to match. Cruiser needs a lot of time to become effective on Ryze. Lane swapping against Ryze is quite effective early on in the game. He has a really hard time shoving the lanes out.
Oh, wow. Very nice.
Dashing before they arm.
Pursuit.
Very nice. There's a pretty slow arm time on those things. Sneaky, he's played against a few jinxes in his day.
Meteos to pick up red buff here. Lemonation doing a lot of roaming lately. Even before the 4.4 patch, we've seen him getting his walk-on up and down the bottom lane to mid. He's going to start clearing out some more sight stones for both Kiwi Kid and Lemonation as they're going to try to start covering the map. Really for Dig now, it's to gain back some ground.
Yeah.
They don't even have wards on their own side of the jungle right now.
Yeah, Crumbs is trapped at level 4 at 8 minutes right now. This is normally the time in the game where you want to start worrying about Pantheon ultimates, but he's not even close to that right now. Going for an aggressive invade.
This is what Cloud9 loves. They know that Dignitas has to react to this, so they're already above.
The potential reaction here from Dignitas would be a Ryze teleport, and that catch is nice.
That is huge! The final spark coming out of Golden Glue. He did get not even a bit of damage under there. That's just from what he has in ability power right now. Kiwi Kid trying to turn back onto High with the rest of the team. They get the damage down, and Cloud9 gets caught looking for a little too much.
Even so, this puts Golden Glue right back in the game. He gets double buffs. They did not have to use the Ryze teleport, and they repelled that gank. Plus, they can potentially get this dragon if they're feeling extra bold. But they think better of it with poor memories of last time.
See what he can do to keep getting that cooldown reduction in his build. You know, how much Lux can benefit from that and spitting out damage. Like you said, back in the game at 3-1 with that engagement. We'll see what he can do to push out High and mid. He's already got the better of Golden Glue once, and he would love to take those double buffs.
Yeah, the biggest thing here was the hook on Meteos and Chain stunning him so he couldn't use his W shield to escape any of that. You could tell Cloud9 was already preparing for a 4v4 fight, which is why High went so recklessly forward. It all happened so quickly, there was really no turning back once they went for that one. It ends up becoming a 2-for-1 instead of a 1-for-0.
And how does this game kind of work for a Pantheon when you don't have a lane to always gank? We haven't really seen Crumbs doing much, but hovering around lanes that are farming.
If he can get to level 6, it's a pretty good world for Pantheon. He just hasn't been able to get there. Pantheon is a very slow farmer. When left to his own devices, he has not been able to get early ganks off because of all the rotational superiority by Cloud9. Yep. Now that he is level 6, though, his ganks are still to be feared, especially on Rumble, I think. Just because High could be able to just wild growth or polymorph him, and the Black Shield can block whoever he decides to stun.
Yeah.
The Balls will not have that advantage. Good pink ward control. Let's see if Dignitas try to stop this one. They do have a lot of ultimates up. There's teleport.
Still taking a bit of damage. Meteos backs off. He's about half health right now. Cruiser tries to get it into the fight. Throwing on the ultimate. Puts out some damage, but he gets called out of the fight. Sneaky turns around, but he is now facing 3 members. If they can gain ground here, as they do, Cloud9 will begin to chase. Does he have relentless pursuit? The double light binding to lock down the team, and it looks like that'll be it. Whew. Cutie Pie pulling a quick switcheroo to dodge that.
Golden Glue hit no one with his Lux ultimate right there, which is a huge deterring factor in that fight. They're still going to continue to try and harass this one. Cutie Pie all by lonesome.
That should be enough. Sneaky, though, out of mana, forcing the flash onto Cutie Pie along with his barrier. And it looks like they are still hovering around the dragon. Sneaky's low on mana, but they should be good for the dragon with the HP they have.
Lux has pretty persistent harass.
Yep.
He seems
that's
willing
doubles.
to continue to go for it.
Ultimate's up in about 15 seconds for Lux. That's the double prismatic barrier shield, but it's not enough. That Lux ultimate can still steal the dragon if they have the vision.
we're really seeing how Cloud9 is playing much more as a team than Dignitas is. Everyone on Dignitas is trying to make their own individual play, whether it be I'm a Cutie Pie going around the side, whether it be Golden Glue and Kiwi Kid just trying to duo harass Cloud9 off the entire dragon. Cloud9 seems much more cohesive, which speaks to why they're tied for first if they win this game.
4,000 gold back. Dignitas is definitely playing safe. Wouldn't say playing scared. They're still putting themselves in the position to push Cloud9 off of that dragon when it looked like it was all of Cloud9's fight. And again, Dignitas is going to start wandering around to clear out the area. They got to be very careful though.
Yeah, well, Balls is riding that fine line of pushing out top lane while still making it down for the dragon fight. His equalizer just now coming back off a full cooldown. And as far as mid-game power here, especially if Lemon Nation can hit level 6, this team fight could be an absolute destruction of Dignitas if Cloud9 gets things to fall right, just because of equalizer and its power at the dragon pit. But if they catch him...
Oh, Lemon Nation, that is what we were looking for earlier. Saw the Rune Prison after the hook. A nice Lantern out of that one. And it looks like High is going to get a full Glitter Lantern. Very nice chompers to stop that from happening.
Very interesting dragon engagement here. Dignitas on the brink of getting pushed out of this game, I really feel. Being down 3,000 gold and having already lost their turrets. They're really fighting hard to keep that dragon contested. They can get it. They could even get some of the bonus experience for being lower level than their opponents when they take dragon. That is very key for them. They want to come back. Rise is really not farming that much amongst all this because he's always around the outskirts of a fight. 44 farm at 13 minutes is not what Rise wants to hop into a game with.
We saw Nien was very far behind in his first play of Rise in the LCS, but it took a 50-minute game to get back in it, and Cruiser has not had the same lane to farm it. He's been with the team. With that teleport down, he's got a huddle with him.
He's going to try steal. It's about the best Midos can do.
He's got the vision. That Q needs to be hit. The Resonating Strike on cooldown now, and Dig does grab that first dragon. The Perseverance pays off.
Yeah, really well done there by them to finish that one off because they didn't lose anything for getting that dragon, which was the keyest thing right there.
That was a long kind of back and forth.
Absolutely. None of their turrets got extra pushed right there. That was Balls again having to peel off for that top lane farm. Cruiser, of course, sacrificing it. And that's going to be a pretty big story now as this continues, is how much trouble will Cruiser have against Balls here, knowing that he has been rotated on so much by Cloud9, I want to say. Not so much individually shut down by Balls, but just he has been valuing staying with the team much more than Rumble has, and as such is down almost 40 CS now.
Big discrepancy in that lane. We just saw Golden Glue throw his shield down instead of last hitting a minion. It's kind of fear being put in his mind by High. There really wasn't a chance to do too much damage either, so you can see Golden Glue is taking every movement of High's into consideration for a gank. That Meteos will be there with him. Level 9 to level 9 in that mid lane. It's going to be quite big when Golden Glue hits 11 if he can do it first. Lux ultimate is nothing to be toyed with, especially if you get a good binding on someone. It's like having a LeBlanc far away.
The Lulu shields will be able to stop an instant kill, especially when you add in the fact they have a black shield as well. I think Golden Glue's ultimate's more going to be about forcing those spells to be used and then comboing the rest of the initiation through. Because the actual shield potential of Cloud9 is very high. Lee Sin, Lulu, and Morgana.
Yeah, Balls has his own kind of set to help him out. Meteos coming in. Cloud9 always has a sweet way to synergize a few things on a team to keep things going. Right now it's effective health of those shields. 15 minutes, 7-5 is the kills. Dig doing a really good job of keeping themselves on par in that case. Cruiser is getting that farm in the top lane. This is going to help out a lot, especially with the teleport being up. It's a little bit of pressure, but if they know he's so weak, then that pressure's gone.
Cruiser needs more time is the big thing. Golden Glue using those 3 kills, obviously, to get a little bit of magic pen. So if he were to catch someone like Sneaky by his lonesome, he would be able to force a kill. But he can't be with the core Cloud9 group when that happens. That was a loud black shield. Pink ward goes down.
Just keeping himself safe. It's scary. A lot of, like we've been saying, the wars starting off the wards. Golden Glue back to mid lane. Not much roaming has come hit this game. Hits it. You don't want that.
Take it, man. Safe. Yeah, that's more invade pressure by Cloud9. They're trying to find a way to close Dignitas here a little bit. Dignitas is sticking around, and Cruiser will power up with the Rod of Ages. He was down about 40 CS a little while ago. He's got some free time in that top lane. He's all the way up to 74 CS. Rather important. Because Cloud9 is grouping up so much and have pretty strong ward control, Crumbs hasn't been able to find any effective ganks. Cloud9 continues the invade pressure.
It'll be 26 minutes before Cruiser gets that fully charged. There's the equalizer. Everybody's going to be off in a quick second. The one Kiwi Kid puts himself back in the fire. They want it for the rocket. They want it for a bit more damage, but nobody can follow.
So close right there. Dignitas tried to turn that around, and they were really banking on at least one reset. But overall, it is a bad call. A lot of shields on Cloud9. Now they're going to lose more.
Oh, so close to going down. Left with about 210 HP. And it looks like this turret will go down as well. Sneaky getting in and out for the shots on it. They drop the middle turret coming in 4-1 now. Yeah. All the outer turrets for Dig are gone.
Huge amounts of control lost now by Dignitas. Meteos' Lee Sin's going to try and constrict them and confine them to their base now. Obviously, the jungle invades are what granted them that turret. But Dignitas got to feel pretty bad about that one. They kind of gave it back there. They could have prevented that turret from falling if they didn't attempt to re-engage.
You can see just how much pressure Pi is putting on saving that mid lane, too. Quick home guards for himself so they can get back, control the map, be where they need to be. The little things Cloud9's putting into place to be effective. Working out so far. It's a 4,000 gold lead. Well, 3.6 at the moment. And they're going to keep pressuring these lanes. Looks like Balls is free to do what he wants in the top lane. Where is Cruiser? He's trying to soak up CS everywhere right now.
Cruiser's tier is currently at 403 of 750, so he's getting there. Ever so slowly. There's a lot of wards there, guys. Ooh! Shield himself. That's actually a very effective shield to have against the Tormented Soil. Double shield, protecting against damage over time. Balls, again, actually has a pretty good lane advantage here. Cruiser's going to do his best to clear that wave as Balls runs down for the Dragon. It's a tough battle for Balls to play because he has to compete with the teleport of Cruiser while still being a parent for Dragon fights. But he's shoving it at the right times. Balls is showing again why he's the best top laner in North America.
They can see him coming down through mid, but this fight may just happen anyways. Taken away, Meteos grabs the blue buff, and that's actually huge for Lux to have that extra cooldown.
Yeah. Athene's is all he's got. He's actually sitting on close to 1,000 gold, but the fight is being forced once again by Cloud9. If they can get a catch before the Dragon, it would mean disaster for Dig.
A flash initiation, the box goes down. Kiwi Kid's gonna be the first one in the fight, and look at the final spark without even the passive.
There's Cruiser AoE!
Shredding through the team. Cruiser goes down immediately. They focus him on the teleport. Cutie Pie's trying to focus. The flash in. Oh my god, they turned around and melt, but the triple kill as well from Cutie Pie coming in. One last Lucent Singularity. There's the light binding, the auto attack. That's all you need. The passive explosion. And he gets the kill on the high.
That was damn close to a pentakill from behind Cutie Pie as well. Take a look at all the AoE Dignitas is able to land here because Golden Glue cuts across from behind the final spark onto everyone of Cloud9. And then Cutie Pie's got his rockets on Jinx as well. Since Cruiser teleported in from behind, it was a dangerous play, but he got a lot of AoE down. And then it's just Cutie Pie needing one reset. He pretty much gets two people with two shots. And then is so low that he has to fall back. Golden Glue able to pick up one more afterwards. Very disjointed team fight by Dignitas, but perfect timing for it. They were able to pick up the Dragon during that replay as well, so only 2,000 gold down. This could be the time they needed to really get Cruiser going. And Golden Glue recovering greatly from that first blood in lane, now being 4-1 and 4.
I'm still kind of amazed by the damage that his final spark did without anything but the Athenes. Now putting the rod on top of that, and the passive wasn't even on any of the champions. He did almost effectively 2,000 damage across the entire team. This is going to be big if Dig can position right, but that's the thing. It's a lot easier to say than do when you're playing against Cloud9. 11-9, Cloud9 pushing themselves a little too hard, and the gold lead's only 2,000 for them now, getting closed quite quick. Dignitas has to find these turrets that are on the map, though. They still only have one.
It's going to be an interesting dynamic as this game moves on, too, because Dignitas, with the double AP composition, you would normally just say, all right, everyone get a Banshee's Veil, and it will save you, which will be somewhat true to stop them from the upfront burst. But because AmaCutiePie got so many kills in that last fight, and there's no true tanks on Cloud9, there's even more danger. That's dangerous.
Oh, like you said, Jad, the wild growth in the shields. Equal not dead.
Hex Drinker ate a lot of that burst from Golden Glue as well. Not a good fight there for Dignitas, but it's because the map control still exists for Cloud9, and they can still reap the benefits of having so many wards down. Dignitas was trying to push out of their base, but they do not have the safety of their turrets. It's one of the big reasons Kiwi Kid went down there.
We'll see if Golden Glue can get back with the team right quick, because it's going to be a push in every lane here coming from Cloud9, and they need to figure out where they can get themselves into position to stop that. Cloud9 knows they have the upper hand here. It's not with too much gold, but it's always when Balls comes in, they will go for the huge fight. You saw it wasn't until really Balls got to the mid lane in a spot where he could throw down Equalizer towards them in blue buff when High flashed in for that last engagement. He just went for broke. They know when they can go that extra mile for these fights.
Yeah, High's went for broke a few times this game. It actually hasn't been too good for them when he does it. They've lost both their fights where he goes all in.
See where Dig can set up the next bit of defense. Not playing too well from on their heels in the usual set of things for Dignitas.
Usually not. They're not the best team at coming back. They've used Baron as an ally more often than not recently. But still missing map control. High does get hit by the zap, though.
It's going to be a dead High coming in. Meteos won't be able to help too much in the side. Dignitas finding an odd pick towards the bottom side of the map here.
Unstoppable AmaCutiePie. This is why everyone says he should be playing Jinx more and more. 5-2 on the season, trying to make it 6-2 against Cloud9. If Dignitas wins this one too, they would bring the season set between themselves and Cloud9 to 2-2. Something about this Dignitas team is good against Cloud9. Even in the games they lost to them, they've been extremely close. You remember the last time Dignitas played against these guys, an incredibly back-and-forth bloodbath. Not until the end of the game was Cloud9 able to find that fight, and then they pushed all the way down the side of the map for that win. Yeah, High's casting, taking him through on this one. Oh, PewDiePie is a big threat, though.
Looks like he's going to be building up more damage on top. He's got to be sitting on quite a bit of gold right now for himself. 1,700 for PewDiePie in his pocket, so he is looking to farm up these lanes, which means Dig may not want to engage too much right now until they get those purchases.
I wonder what PewDiePie is going to go next. Typical logic would say you go Last Whisper because he's sitting on the longsword, but there is almost no armor stacking going on Cloud9 whatsoever. There's not even a Zonya's Hourglass like you might normally see on Rumble. He went straight for a Death Cap. This would actually be a situation where PewDiePie would want to go with an Infinity Edge next because everybody on Cloud9 is actually squishy. Would want to get that crit chance for the multiplier.
Squishy, but a lot of wards on their hand. Oh, wards not going to matter when you get dove on. Whoa, the shock and awe strategy coming in from Dignitas, but they may get shocked on this one themselves. Coming in with the full heat. Balls get some good damage on the wild. Growth goes in, and there's just too much focus. The triple kill going in for Sneaky. Trying to follow the Sonic Wave, misses for the Resonating Strike. Follow-up, and Cloud9 takes control of the map.
Yeah, Dignitas tried to stand and fight the Flame Spitting Balls there, who had a Death Cap, and because the Lulu shield was so damn strong at this point, they wrecked house with that fight in Dignitas. That fight was a lot closer in actuality than the result, but because Cloud9 was just able to sneak through with the shields, they're pushing strong. They're probably getting an inhibitor off this.
Dignitas going a little hard. As you can see, they have zero vision on either side of where they just dove. That was pretty blind, hoping for one, and it cost him a little bit more.
Kiwi Kid got a little bit too caught up in the Dark Binding within the turret, so he was a non-factor, and that ended up splitting Dignitas up in that last fight. And AmaCutiePie felt pretty good about that because he wanted to get the resets. He just wasn't able to fight through the shields of Cloud9.
See where he can continue to go with this. 216 to 217. Look at the AD carry. Sneaky 5-0-6.
Sneaky has been on fire.
5-1-5. What a game for them.
Just to point it out, Sneaky last week had a fantastic week as well. He is really one of the most this is gonna. He is sneaky about how he affects the game. Just because everyone focuses on Meteos balls and high on Cloud9, and they forget that there's this incredibly good AD carry behind them. This is a dude who is rank 1 on the Challenger ladder and has held it for a couple weeks now. That is not an easy task to do, and he's not one of those players who gets nervous either.
Nope.
You see some of these other guys coming in. I actually, not to rag on him too much, but Wiz Fusion or even Quas are these guys who are tremendous in solo queue.
Yeah.
But then seem to have some confidence issues when they get into the big LCS games. That's not the case for Sneaky. He is just a consistent performer, and we're seeing it again this game. 5-0 and 6.
And he becomes consistent in what the team needs him to do. Little flack last year for being that utility AD carry to provide for the team, but he can also provide for himself when the time comes. He's going to make the calls, and they get made. 5,000 gold coming in for Cloud9 right now. A lot of that gold is on Sneaky. A lot of that gold is on High. He was able to grab first blood. The mentality of Cloud9 also really helping to bolster the play style of the players themselves.
And I think another description of how strong Cloud9's map control is, too. They have all 5 pink wards out on the map right now. So everyone who has placed a pink ward has yet to have it killed, which just means that everywhere they've wanted vision, they have gotten vision. And it makes forcing fights that much easier for them and more hazardous for Dignitas. Well, there go 2 of them.
They still got another one. Lemon's ready to put one more out. It looks like they are going to get the clear. But
it was nice while it lasted.
Setting up a little bit of their own wards as they get the clear out for Baron Boogie. We're 30 minutes into the game. Hasn't been too much focus on Dragon or Baron coming into this one. Usually we see that affect it for a lot of teams, but Cloud9 has kept it in the lanes.
Big brute force here by Cloud9. Dignitas might try Desperation Initiation, but it could be the end of them if they decided to stop it. It took Dignitas so long, 15 shots to clear those 3 pink wards, that it ends up giving Cloud9 a nice inhibitor by pushing up the mid lane. Just, again, out-rotating Dignitas.
More and more, and they don't have to waste much, but a little bit of energy running down the lane. Clearing out once more their right to the Baron pit. Cloud9 sets up for Sneaky in mid, and we are back to posturing here for someone to make a mistake. This is where the ward war is going to come into effect. Just trying to take one out is going to cost you your life.
Dignitas wants to find a catch at some point. That is a catch!
Passive damage. Meteos feels pretty good about that, only doing half health.
That's also a catch.
Oh no, the equalizer missing out, but they're able to follow up after that binding. Good job by Cloud9. They again take out Golden Glue, who really can do everything in the fight that they need. High says, I got a little bit more for you.
So the light binding didn't get a kill, but the dark binding did.
Yeah.
So evil prevails right here for Cloud9, as they probably can take a Baron off of this. It's just a matter of how willing Crumbs would be to try Desperation Steal. They can kill this real fast. The shields can also keep them safe from the Baron. It goes down real fast.
29 minutes in, Cloud9 putting a stamp on the first. Nasher going over to them is going to put them at least 10,000 gold. We're just around 9 right now, but that's going to be big when it's rounded up. The Death Cap, like we said, onto balls, and it doesn't even look like he's going for that Zanya.
Yeah.
The Abyssal Scepter coming in next.
Yeah, he's just going full offense. That is one of the most painful Rumbles I've seen in quite some time. 423 ability power. It's not actually that Rumble doesn't have good AP ratios that people don't build on him. AP, canceled Pantheon Ultimate right there. It's because he normally dies when he tries to go in close range. But because they have the power of Black Shield and the Lulu shields, he's able to be more brazen with his positioning in this game. And it's paying off.
Well, he definitely knows how to position in the fight, so it makes it a lot easier for the team to not have to worry about him. Balls is kind of on Rumble as like a one-man mission during the fights. Nobody really worries about him unless he needs that last wild growth like we saw High giving him in the mid-fight. 15's on the map. Looking at 16's, that last level of ultimate to come in soon for these guys, and that is going to be even a bigger factor as they're almost that level ahead of Dig right now.
With the inhibitor down, how long will it take Cloud9 to close Dignitas out here? It's fairly difficult to push onto a Lux. Very good wave clear. There's always the danger of I'm a Cutie Pie getting resets on Jinx. But with how Cloud9 mowed through Dignitas in that last fight, it's going to be tough for Dig to hold.
Once Dig loses that footing, the ground becomes pretty unstable. Rotations are really tough, especially against Cloud9. They push advantages so hard, it makes it look much worse than it is because they know what to do and when to do it. Right now, they're just peppering the outside of the base. 1:10 left on Dragon. If they even need to go back for it, it's probably going to be an inhibitor before they leave this spot.
Well, the Cloud9 has infiltrated their base.
Yeah.
So they can come around from the side and press them back. Tough fight for Dignitas. They're going to try.
That's a leap. High is in the back line. They might be able to drop Crumbs. That only hits Meteos, and it's not a lot of damage. They're going to be able to take down 1, 2. Looking for Cutie Pie as a third. One more shot. The shield coming on, actually, from the Prismatic Barrier. Kick to the throat, but he punches back. The burn is on. Cutie Pie lives in that engagement. And as we go back to the war zone, it's quite messy, and Cloud9 stands.
There's home guard boots coming from the base, too, trying to get some resets.
Black Shield! Oh! A few more shots coming in. All he needs is that attack. No flash. Nothing to come in for Cutie Pie. He's going to have Zap back up.
Oh!
Hey-o! Hits it long range. It's just like the last time. Hey, guys, watch this.
Yeah, check this one out.
Check this one out.
Well, Albie, what a hold from Dignitas. And much like that tweet had said a minute prior, oftentimes people don't give credit for how tightly Dignitas plays against Cloud9. 21-14 now. That was a last-ditch effort fight by Dignitas. Cloud9 was ready to end the game on them, and they lived to fight another day. Take another look at this fight, actually. I'd say there was definite over-aggression by Cloud9, and the fact that Cutie Pie did not fall is incredibly key in this one. Sneaky flashed all the way in, but it was actually a very timely Lux shield that kept Diamond Cutie Pie alive through all of this. And then Balls took a few accidental turret shots here. With the Dragon as well, Dignitas claws a little bit closer.
Well, Cruiser's all stacked up. Rod of Ages is finished. That Seraph's obviously up there. The shield to use so he can help himself out more to stay alive. The shots, however, from Golden Glue not doing as much damage, I think, as he would like.
Well, obviously he's got a little bit more ability power now.
Yeah.
Definite instant kill potential from him now. 445 ability power on Lux. If he is to land something directly onto Sneaky, and Sneaky does not get any help, they'll knock him down. But that is why Sneaky is trusting in Lemonation. He's got the Mikhail's Crucible to get Sneaky out of the crowd control, then he can dash away from the final spark. Or just the Black Shield to begin with. So that is why Sneaky feels safe going so offensive against that deadly Lux.
Eat up that Cruiser as well. He's going to try to be a big man for the team. Lemonation getting the Zanya's finish. May see a flash initiation from him. He's never afraid to do that on Thresh even. Getting the flash blaze in. 7,000 gold just about separates these teams. And Dig has been able to slow Cloud9 down a bit. They got their inhibitor back. The bottom turret wasn't rightly taken, and they did fight for it. Cloud9 is given that respect. Now it's going to be the mid
This might happen again.
And the inhibitor's open, and they could out-rotate him.
Yeah, they're going to be running straight towards that. They're grouped up as 5. How quickly could Dignitas defend this? They're out of sorts right now. Single person gets hit by a Glitterlance. It could mean their life, but now Dignitas... They're so split up. There comes Pantheon.
Once again, the drop comes in. Kiwi Kid's going to be there. The Zanya's, he didn't Soul Shackle when he went in on it. Lemonation's going to be locked up on that one and taken down. Cutie Pie gets a kill there. Cruiser's the focus here. Can Golden Goo get in the backside for more damage? Cutie Pie needs to get in the fight as well, but he's too far off, pushed on the fight, running around the base, and they will be able to take down the inhibitor as they come back from an early mistake in that.
They are just so split right there. Even though Lemonation didn't go off his ultimate, he took their time for a little while. You know, he kept the fight split. Job well done, plus. He did use his ultimate. I was going to say he still has his ult, but he does not. Cloud9 still comes out on top from that one, showing how they do not have to play perfectly in order to win this one based on their lead. That would have been more disastrous if the rest of their team was not so strong. Still probably feels pretty silly about that, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think he flashed for it. The flash is down.
Let's take another look at this one. Obviously, popped that Zanya's before his Morgana ultimate. But then, I feel like Dignitas actually overcommitted a little bit onto that one. Using the Lux ultimate that just hit the support, left the rest of Dignitas very vulnerable. And then if you look at the minimap, I mean, Cutie Pie came all the way around because there was no safe path for him, which is why it still ended up being a very favorable fight for Cloud9.
So many split-second decisions to make.
Yeah.
If you don't make the right one, you're left with just about nothing. Cloud9 starting up Baron Boogie once again. They clear the wards out. 7 seconds on this. Dig's going to have to make a move.
Yeah, and this is the team you do not want to force a Baron against. Lux was the Baron stealer before Gragas was the Baron stealer. However, finding fights around the Baron pit is an absolute possibility.
Oh, man. Just the coattails get caught off there. Flashing the final spark. Prismatic barrier goes in, but it's not enough shield. Cloud9 doesn't even have to bring them all the way towards the barrier. Through the choppers. A little more damage, but that's all the shields. The effective HP they can give someone we were talking about, but he still goes down. One more focus shot coming in. Sneaky.
The speed.
Get that speed up. Very nicely played. The utility coming in from the team.
Oh, is he going to get 4?
This is going to be big. He's got passive if he can hit it. Ooh. He did get the Ardent Blaze speed on that one. He got locked up, unfortunately. What? Sneaky?
He's going hard.
That's not very sneaky at all.
That was,
Wait a minute! Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me! Golden Glue goes down in the end! They're just playing ping pong around him.
Showing how strong they really are as a team right there. Again, the fight itself was incredibly one-sided. Cloud9 very superior in these team fights just by the scaling. You'd think Rise would be stronger here. This last little chase was the chase for the Quadra. He would have to sidestep that one, but he was in such a small corridor he couldn't get there.
Takes tons of shots. Barrier, Blade of the Rune King.
Turn. You can see the size of the shield that Lulu had on him from before. Then he actually eats through his own barrier. Gets yet another shield.
Hiya!
Still had that kick.
Still had it indeed. We'll see what Cloud9 can do with the rest of this one. Waiting for them to not get in the base. We've already seen Cloud9 kind of setting up shop in the base when they're taking inhibitor turrets, which means Dignitas has almost lost all ground. These fights are just going to be if they can take control in mid-battle, and that's going to be the initiation. 10,000 gold ahead from Cloud9.
Yeah, Cloud9 is absolutely in control. The last time they got a little bit too aggressive here. But it definitely appears now with full items on Sneaky, nearly full items on High, and obviously a very powerful build on Balls. They could do another one here.
Yeah, Cruiser's gotten himself to that spot with Rise now as well. Charged up, hasn't been able to add too much more. It's going to make him too dangerous, but it's going to be helping out with the team, and it's, you know, talking about Balls again, to see him go up against what's been a high priority pick now in the league, and he's still playing Rumble against it. Still able to come out on top.
Yeah, if he wins this one, he will maintain his undefeated record on Rumble.
Go figure.
Talked a lot about Sneaky and his performance lately as well. Even if we just culminated with the whole LCS, in this game, because of his 9 kills, he's actually passed Wild Turtle for most kills as an AD carry. And needs 4 kills in this next fight to become the top killer in the LCS. So he didn't get the Quadra last time. He gets it this time. He gets most kills.
It'll mean a whole lot more. We'll see if he's pointing towards the fence for this fight. A few more shots onto the inhibitor. You can see he takes it, and he should, solely upon himself to be the one to do the damage at long range. The team knows exactly to guard him in the V formation when they get out close.
They have about 2 minutes left on their Baron buff, so they don't need to be too impatient here.
Right.
Definitely, I think the reason this game is stretched to about 40 minutes is Cloud9's been a bit too impatient. Yeah, where they want to go.
You see Dig putting all their eggs in one basket with this last one. Cruiser picking up the blue pot, trying to get a little extra damage out. You see everything else. A lot of Banshees being finished up by Dignitas as well. They want to avoid that initial front end burst, but here we go again. Cloud9 setting up shop in the base. Dig is just getting pinched in.
Yeah, High is so fast right now too. If they get any type of beginning, he gives 84% move speed with his Whimsy. At this point, Kiwikin goes for it.
He flashes over the box without breaking it, and Lemon gets a 4-man soul shackle with a Zanyazan. Very well played as Balls comes in for the janitor duty, cleans up everything with a mop and bucket, and it's going to be High and Sneaky coming in as well to help on that one. Very great initiation.
An equalizer by Balls right there. It just cornered Dignitas We knew they had a lead, but that was a brilliant fight to close the game by Cloud9. 32 kills. They definitely padded their stats a bit with that one.
Yeah, doubling the kills, 32-16 as we end out that one. 41:08 on the clock, and Cloud9 picks up another victory. There it is, handoff.
Had to zoom in for the fist bump. They've won so many times, the cameramen know exactly what they're going to do after the game.
Where is it? Where is it? Yeah. There it is. And we're going to hit the GGs as well. Obviously, both teams playing very well there. The smiles all around, and unfortunately, Dig is not able to pick up the tie in the head-to-head versus Cloud9.
Yeah, they definitely gave a little bit of attitude there to Elimination for the failed Flash ultimate of Morgana. It's going to take them a while to live that one down. Doesn't cost Cloud9 the game, though. Come out of the week 2-0.